would say the biggest difference between today and when we first started VSM is that I was very much faking it till I make it back in those days. I think I had a lot of ambition and dreams, and I was really just trying to do my very best to make people believe that I had all the skills and tools and everything necessary. And comparing that to today, I'm extremely confident that I have the knowledge, the people, all the tools to actually be even better than what I was putting myself out there at the beginning. So. I would say that VSM has rebranded itself on a near annual basis ever since we started. We started as Schroder Management and then became VSM Real Estate later on because no one could pronounce my partner's last name. And then in addition, we've changed our logo, we've changed our website. It was constantly being reinvented, fine-tuned, and improved upon. One thing that I would say is that the market is changing every year too. So what was really popular when we started was the market was down and nobody could afford to sell their house. They were basically forced with the decision of doing a short sale or foreclosure or renting it or coming to the table with cash to close. So we were sucking up property owners who basically chose to rent because it was the most palatable of all those alternatives. Nowadays, because the market condition has shifted, we're working almost exclusively with your kind of traditional real estate investors versus the default landlords. So along the way, the market continues to change and we have to adapt to it or else it'll change without us, and that's not a good place to be. Everything has changed. When we first got into real estate was considered toxic and no one wanted to touch it. People were dying to give us their properties. So we acquired about the first 34 properties that we own on a contract for deed by sitting across the table from a landlord a homeowner who was in a distressed situation and said, if I could just get rid of this thing today, I would, which I then parlayed into, let me buy your property from you on a contract for deed. We took all the risk of spending the dollars to get it improved, getting it rented and managing it, and as a result we got to realize all of that appreciation and everything. So that's one thing that's really different about it than today, because now everybody watches those HGTV shows and it's again widely considered that real estate is just a fantastic investment, a great place for you to put your money. So the pendulum swung from no one wants it to everyone has to have it in a period of 8 years. I feel like we were different from the competition from the very beginning in that Goran and I built this company with our aspirations of being real estate investors, and property management was a means to that end. So we were always designed around providing a really good experience for the owners and providing high quality housing for the tenants. And I think the legitimate passion that I have for the business and my high standards for the people that work here are probably the biggest differentiators in the marketplace. You go online and you read about our competition. Their reviews are horrible. People have bad experiences with them. They're typically one-trick ponies as well, like they only do property management. I think that's a few of the ways that we differentiate ourselves, and it really comes down to our investment expertise. I think that has been and will always continue to be the main differentiator between us and everyone else. I would characterize the culture at VSM as one of, it's entrepreneurial, but also very team oriented and kind of all for one and one for all. I have no patience for toxic people and their bad attitudes and poisoning the well, and so to speak. So if we ever feel any of that, we'll be quick to part ways with that people. We really want to build a team that's conducive to growth and maintaining our solid reputation that we have in the marketplace. So I guess high standards all around. high standards for our property owners to keep their properties up and be great landlords, high quality for our tenants to do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it, high accountability for our contractors to make the properties look nice and keep them nice, on our staff, on myself. I mean, I'm a firm believer that quality begets quality. So by keeping our standards high on ourselves and everyone else that we're affiliated with, it's just a very consistent, high quality product that we put out. Running a business is extremely challenging. I would say that I was fortunate enough to be a really good salesperson, and as a result, I started to acquire more business than I could handle. So then the next logical progression is to build a team around you. So I went from being a salesperson to being a manager, and that was the paradigm shift that I think was the most difficult for me, because I'm not necessarily a natural manager of people. But now that I've been doing it for a while and I study and I read books on it and I'm always trying to improve myself, I think I've gotten a lot better at it. And that comes down to setting expectations, knowing how to lead people with, I prefer the carrot versus the stick with my style of leadership. I always try and align people with my interests. I think that's also extremely important as well, if everybody's swimming in the same direction. And then I also find that being generous and doing more than you have to do builds loyalty with your team, and as a result you don't have the same turnover issues, because hiring and having to deal with that is a huge pain. So I guess just really treat people right, give them the respect and the autonomy to make decisions and empower them are kind of the main takeaways, I would say. I would say that the most rewarding aspect of this journey in my business is the fact that I'm able to provide for my family, and I've been able to create jobs for other people so that they're able to provide for their families. I've been able to coach and mentor and inspire a half dozen people to start their own businesses as well. And just the fact that I like what I do every day. I feel so grateful that I get paid to do something that I love.